YouTube? This is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. Just wanted, like always, to share with you guys the haul that I've gotten since the last video I recorded. Speaking of that last video, I did mention I was going to try to cut down on stuff. And I know I mentioned this constantly on my pickup videos that I am going to cut down, but this time in particular has been great. It's funny that as hard as I try to save money for stuff that's going to come down the line, that's when I most find good deals. I went with my wife to a couple of places, and they were basically giving stuff away for a fraction of the amount of money that I would normally pay. So it's really hard to actually keep away from stuff like that. I'll also share a lot of stuff because it's been a while since I recorded the last video, and I've been adding stuff to the vault. So yeah, you'll see a lot of stuff in this video, but yeah, it was so many good deals. It was kind of hard to pass up. The first thing I want to talk about, and I rewatched that previous pickup video because I wanted to make sure that I didn't talk about this. But I am super happy that I was able to get a Pac-Man amiibo. To anyone that has been following the amiibo craze, you probably know that these things have gotten really hard to find. I think this Pac-Man is from Wave 4, and anywhere you go, Wave 4 is completely sold out. I'm still to this day trying to track down a Charizard amiibo, because Pac-Man and Charizard were the only amiibos I wanted from this wave. The next amiibos I'm interested in is Bowser Jr. and Ganondorf. But based on the trouble that I had getting Pac-Man, and the fact that to this day I still haven't been able to get Charizard, means that the amiibo craze is pretty much going to impede that I can get Charizard, Bowser Jr. or Ganondorf. Which sucks. Because I really want those amiibos. I'm not interested in the rest of the characters. However, at the point of recording this, Mewtwo has been out for a while. So if they release a Mewtwo amiibo, I would probably pick that one up because I really like Mewtwo. And Ryu is now downloadable for Smash Brothers. And in the case of Ryu, they kept all his movesets. So it's very interesting to see him there. So now Ryu will be the other character, a brand new character that was installed into Brawl that's not part of Nintendo. Just like Pac-Man, Pac-Man here, Sonic, and Mega Man. Now Ryu is the guest character for Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. I need to get a Nintendo eShop card so I can download Ryu. But if they make a Ryu amiibo, I definitely want that one, because that one would be pretty cool. Went to a GameStop and they had this guy for $2, so for Disney Infinity I picked up Sully Sullivan from Monsters University. My wife actually was the one that saw him, and she was like, "Oh, look, he's Sully and he's super cheap." And since I bought Disney Infinity on the Wii U and have the base, why not? He doesn't come in the box, but I like the mold on this Disney Infinity character. I was gonna call him Skylander, but on the Disney Infinity character here, and for $2 I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah. Went to pick up my comic books, which is the last pickup video that I uploaded. And I heard about this from Happy Console Gamer. He talked about this, and you know, I thought it was going to sell out because it's in reprint, but Hyrule Historia for a while was out of print. So I didn't think I would find this. But I went to my comic book store and I found The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, the collected manga. For anyone that doesn't know, this is a complete collection of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past manga that came out on Nintendo Power. It's full size, full color, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it has foil here, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's $20. It cost me $20 in that comic book store, and it's beautiful. I didn't think I was gonna be able to find it because I knew that a lot of Zelda fans would probably want this before it got out of print, and I went there and it was there, and I couldn't pass it up. Again, it's $20. It's pretty steep, but I couldn't pass it up. It's a Zelda collectible, and I never got to read the complete story from those Nintendo Power issues. So yeah, the only bummer is that I don't know when it happened, but it kind of got a little damage here in the corner. It wasn't damaged when I bought it. It was brand spanking, minty fresh new. And somewhere during, maybe one of the groceries bags fell on it, or I hit it accidentally with something on the escalator or in the car. But it got a little bent here. It doesn't diminish the fact that it's an awesome book, and it's an awesome manga series. So really happy that I was able to get The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past manga. So yeah. On to some video games. I gave my retro console some love. I picked up Battle Chess. Got this really cheap off a seller in a really random store. He had a couple of Nintendo games, so I picked up Battle Chess. It's not a very good game, actually. It's kind of like that Harry Potter chess where you can control little. It's a chess game, but when you move one of the pieces, it has this little short animation and so on. So it's not the best NES game for sure. And I picked this one up because I've never seen it before. I didn't know what it was about, but I picked up Rockin' Ball. I picked it up because of the manga style cover there. It's a pinball game. It's a pinball game. I thought it was going to be something totally different, but it's a pinball game. But I picked it up just because it looked interesting. I kind of got a flashback of how it was back in my day that you would see a game there for renting, and you would really just base yourself on the cover, and you would sometimes rent an awesome game. Sometimes you would rent something really weird and pointless like a pinball game. It's not even a good pinball game, but it is what it is. For the Super Nintendo, I got some really good stuff. At a different seller than where I got the NES games, I picked up a game that I've been trying to track down for a while on the Super Nintendo, and that's UN Squadron. I really like shooters. It's one of those genres that unfortunately don't exist anymore. I think the last game that I saw and played, which I don't know, which I want to get a copy again, is R-Type for the PSP. So shooters, unfortunately, to my knowledge, aren't around anymore. But UN Squadron is a game that I've been trying to look for. I did see a better copy once. I was going with swap me with my now wife. We were still dating at the time, and I saw it, and she was like, "Oh, if you like video games, you should buy it." But I was like, "No. I didn't want to spend the money that it cost me back then, because I was trying to look good in front of her. So I missed out on getting a copy of UN Squadron. So when I found this one, I wasn't gonna miss that chance. I got it. I was able to bargain. It was 80 pesos, but I got the price down. The only downfall is that it doesn't have an end label. The end label is completely missing, but it has the front label here. And I still have to work on removing this. But it's a great shooter for the Super Nintendo, and I'm super hyped that I was able to get this one. One of my wife's cousins was selling a bunch of Super Nintendo games. Really dirt cheap, too. And he sent me a picture. Well, he sent my wife a picture, and she showed it to me. And there were a bunch of games that I did want. And I worked with him a deal, and I got 6 Super Nintendo games. The first one is Top Gear 2, published by Kemco, which is a really interesting racing game. UN Squadron is cool because it's a shooter, but you can upgrade your ship. Top Gear 2 is a racing game, but you can also upgrade your car. So that I thought was pretty cool. I remember, I honestly don't remember if I rented the first one or the second one. Or I might have rented both, but now that I replayed that one is pretty cool. Also picked up Mario's Time Machine. I own Mario is Missing, and this is the second educational game that came out for the Super Nintendo starring Mario. Bowser somehow gets a hold of time travel technology and goes around stealing treasures from the past, and Mario has to send everything back so history's not messed up. But it's an educational game. It's not a very good game, mind you. I remember playing, I don't know if it was on the Nintendo or the Super, honestly, but I remember renting a Carmen Sandiego game. That was actually a lot better for as far as educational games, but I couldn't pass it up. Like I said, I got a really good deal on this, and it's a Mario game that I didn't own, so I had to pick it up. Also picked up FIFA Soccer from EA Sports. I honestly can't remember the name of a soccer game that Capcom released, but I thought that was a great game. My favorite soccer game is International Superstar Soccer Deluxe. That, if you can get that one, that's by far the best soccer game. FIFA was always hit or miss, but this one's actually pretty good. Again, nothing compared to that Capcom soccer game I can't remember, or that International Superstar Soccer Deluxe. But this one is not as bad as I remember. I remember renting a FIFA game and thinking it was really bad. But I popped this one in, and it's pretty good. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. Also picked up Clay Fighter. I have Clay Fighter 63 and a third for the 64. I remember renting this with my brother. Thought it was pretty cool, and now I want to get Clay Fighter 2 or C2, as it was called. Picked up Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally, published by Sunsoft, who did really good games on the Super and the Nintendo. It's basically just you use the Roadrunner. It's kind of like Sonic, actually. You use the Roadrunner and you have to breeze through these levels while watching out for Wile E. Coyote. It really does remind me a lot of Sonic. The visuals are really cool, and the play control is kind of iffy because the Roadrunner is kind of hard to control once he gets full speed, but got that. And the last one I picked up is Dirt Tracks FX, which was published by Acclaim. I don't know if this used the Super FX chip. It kind of looks a bit like Star Fox and I think it was Uniracers, or I don't remember what was the other game. It was another racing game that was published by Nintendo, and this one has that kind of look. So maybe it does use the Super FX chip. I don't know, but it's an interesting FX racing game. So yeah, pick that up for the Super Nintendo. So I do want to get more retro games, because especially 64 games. I want to work on my 64 collection. The 64 is honestly the one console that I own the least amount of games for on Nintendo. So yeah, went to a pawn shop and I picked up the flushed away version that released on GameCube. This released also on Xbox One, well, not Xbox One now, the original Xbox, and PlayStation 2. It's basically just a cash-in movie adaptation. It's not that good, honestly, and it doesn't come with a manual, but it's a GameCube game. I got this super dirt cheap, and I couldn't pass it up. I like collecting for the GameCube. After the NES, the GameCube is the second console I own the most games for. So yeah, I had to add another one there. Picked up a couple of Wii games, actually. At GameStop, I picked up dirt cheap for $2 actually. Sega Superstar Tennis. This is Sega's rival to Mario Tennis. The difference is that this one has a bunch of characters from the Sega universe. You can see Sambo the Amigo there, the monkeys from Monkey Ball. I forgot her name. Ooh La La. No, that's a different one. I forgot the name from the Space Channel 5 chick. But you can use her, and you can also use Knights, the guys from Jet Grind Radio, Sonic, and I've never played this one, but the prospect of seeing all these Sega characters is interesting to me, so I had to pick it up. I want to get the racing game. I've heard good things about the racing game. For $2 again, I picked up a Konami game. Konami didn't release that many games on the Wii, but this one, I remember reading about it. The magazine described it as Katamari Damacy, and I really like Katamari Damacy. And this is Tornado Outbreak. Basically, what you do is that you use a tornado. Instead of using the Katamari ball, you create tornadoes and you grab stuff from around and defeat bosses. And I've been trying to get this game, actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the manual. But it's a Konami game, and like I might have mentioned in my past video, I have a feeling that Konami games are gonna jack up on price because Konami's now officially gone from the console market. They're gonna release only mobile games, so pick that one up. We still have Blockbusters here in Mexico, so I went to Blockbuster Mexico, and I picked up Need for Speed Nitro. Again, really dirt cheap. Genuinely surprised at how cheap I got it compared to GameStop. This is a really cool racing game for the Wii. I think this also had a different looking port on PlayStation 3 maybe, and Xbox 360. But I heard good things about the Wii port, so I picked it up. Really looking forward to clocking in some hours on that one. And the last game I got at Blockbuster Mexico is Star Wars The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels. This is, to the best of my knowledge, a fighting game where you control different characters from the Star Wars universe. I don't think you control that many because there's not that many characters in the Star Wars Clone Saga. There's another Wii game called Republic Heroes, maybe. I want to get that one, but I haven't seen it yet, so I got this one dirt cheap and I had to pick it up. Because Episode 7 is going to release on December of this year, so I have a feeling that either Star Wars games are going to jack up on price or they're going to become scarce. So I want to pick the other Wii game that I mentioned, and I want to pick up Force Unleashed 2 for the PlayStation 3. So, working on that. Bayonetta. Unfortunately, I didn't realize this until afterwards. I went to a Walmart and a Target, and Bayonetta dropped down in price. It was $59.99, dropped down new for $44.99. And I wish I would have gone to a Walmart or a GameStop first, but I went to a GameStop. And in GameStop, they had a used Bayonetta for $33, and I was like, wow, that's half of what it costs new right now. So I picked it up because I really wanted Bayonetta, and thankfully this comes with Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. The thing is, it doesn't come inside the standard Wii U box. This one's transparent green. It makes it look different, but it's, it does kind of stand out. But like I said, I bought this one used at a GameStop, thinking I was getting a good deal. Went to Walmart and Target, and it cost $44. Honestly, I would have paid the extra $10 for to be able to get it new, but because I want to support this game, because honestly, after playing a little bit of Bayonetta 1 and a little bit of Bayonetta 2, I hope they make a Bayonetta 3. But I heard that in Japan the sales for this one were terrible, and I don't think it sold very well here in the U.S. That's why now it's $44 new. But if you can, go to a Walmart or a Target and buy this baby new, definitely try to get the numbers up. I really wish I would have waited to get this and gone to that Walmart and Target. 'Cause I would have paid new for this. at that price drop to try to get the sales numbers up. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't. But if you can get this, if you have a Wii U, get this. It's an awesome set of games. I've been wanting to get Bayonetta on the PlayStation 3, but I waited because I knew this was gonna this was gonna come out. That Bayonetta 2 was gonna include Bayonetta 1. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of this, and it's amazing. It's a great set of games, and for $44 you get two awesome games. That's a good deal, honestly. For the DS at Blockbuster Mexico, I picked up Call of Duty World at War, and because I thought it would be cool to own. Again, this was really super dirt cheap. I thought it would be cool to own a portable Call of Duty game. It's not that bad actually. Graphically, it's pretty cool. The audio's really low. I had the audio way up, and I could barely hear what was going on. But that was pretty. Graphically, it's pretty cool. The only problem is the control. You move with the D-pad, but you look around with the touchscreen. So that's kind of iffy. But graphically, it's pretty cool. And I also picked up Rhythm Heaven for the DS. Again, dirt cheap at that Blockbuster Mexico. I played the demo. I remember playing the demo, and I thought it was challenging but kind of cool. Never got around to actually buying the game until now. But I'm looking forward to clocking in some hours into this one as well. At the pawn shop that I picked up Flushed Away, I picked up Red Faction 2. I remember playing Red Faction 1 and liking it, even though the loading times were kind of heavy. Picked this one up, and the loading times are still there, but it looks better. It looks better than the first Red Faction, so I thought that was pretty cool. Picked up at GameStop Deus Ex Human Revolution because it cost $4. There's a director's cut of this on PlayStation 3 and Wii U. I wanted to honestly get the Wii U version, but I went there. It was $4. I was like, fine, I'll pick it up because I've heard great things about this game. So I had to pick that one up. I didn't have to, but it was a good deal. For $2, I picked up Battlefield Bad Company 2. Surprised it was this cheap, but you know, it's the limited edition. I think it has some multiplayer maps. I saw a video once of Angry Joe, and he talked about this. He said the multiplayer was pretty awesome, even though the story mode wasn't that cool. So, for $2, I was like, I'll give it a chance. And the other one I picked up is End War. I picked it up only because of Tom Clancy thing. I want to get Blacklist, Splinter Cell Blacklist, Rainbow Six Vegas 2, and there's a Advanced Warfighter, and Hawks. I do want to get some more Tom Clancy games, but this was $2. I know it's a strategy game that you control with a microphone, so I thought that was pretty interesting, but I haven't actually popped that in yet. The next batch of movies, I went to the swap meet. I forgot the name. Spring Valley Swap Meet, and I just got a bunch of cool movies. 50 cents, $1, and I couldn't pass up some of these movies because there are movies that I've been wanting to get for a while. So yeah, I picked up first off Free Willy. Turns out my wife really likes Free Willy. They were passing it on TV. It was already started, but she was like, "Oh, I remember Free Willy." My wife actually went to see Keiko, which is the whale that appears in the movie. So when I saw it, I got reminded of that, and I picked it up for her. So we can watch Free Willy. Picked up Predators. A bunch of people are stranded in this jungle, and they encounter predators, and the predators themselves are being hunted by these super predators. I didn't get to see this on the theater because I thought the idea was kind of stupid. But it has Machete there, and I've seen it, and it's actually pretty cool. It's not that bad. I wish I would have gone to see it in the theater. A huge sucker for disaster movies. I have not seen San Andreas because my wife doesn't want to see that one. But I like disaster movies. Love Armageddon, but I think it was the same year that Armageddon came out. There was another more serious movie, and that's Deep Impact. And I saw it there. I had to pick it up because again I'm a huge sucker for disaster movies. Picked up Water for Elephants, starring the Twilight guy, but also has Reese Witherspoon and Christoph Waltz, fresh off Inglourious Bastards. And I remember as a kid, my dad used to take me to a number of circuses, and I really, really liked this one. I thought it was pretty cool. And Robert Pattinson, who's the Twilight guy, actually did a good job here. He did way better than Twilight. So, I like that movie. I picked it up. Wasn't sure about picking this one, but I have this thing for remakes. So I picked up the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Even though I've heard from everyone that the movie sucks, I had to pick it up because I'm weird that way. Saw this on TV once, didn't much care for it. But if I own the original, I'm curious about the remake, so I picked that one up. Picked up a weird movie when I saw it, but I picked up Secret Window starring Johnny Depp. About Johnny Depp's this writer is being haunted by this guy that thinks that he stole his idea from, and stuff that's going on with his wife. Really weird, and it has one of those twist endings. I want to track down From Hell, which is another Johnny Depp movie, but that deals with, I think it was deals with Jack the Ripper. But I got a Johnny Depp collection going on, so. Remember seeing this movie, and I thought it was okay, but my wife, when she saw it, it turns out that she really, really liked it, so I picked up A Walk in the Clouds, starring Keanu Reeves, and it's directed by Alfonso Arau, and I've seen a couple of his movies, so I didn't identify this movie when I first saw it, but it's directed by Alfonso Arau. And I remember it was okay, but my wife really, really liked it, and I picked it up. Now, this one I already own. It's an interesting story. I went to a chain franchise place that sells video games and movies. And they had this really cool-looking steelbook for Inception. Everything was in English, and I have this thing, if a movie is American, I like everything to be in English. And if the movie's in Spanish, I like everything to be in Spanish. I'm weird that way. So I bought that, really happy, thought it was a really good price for that steelbook. Got home, and everything's in Spanish. So I've been wanting to get Inception in DVD in English, and I got Inception in English. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out the DVD that says Origen, which is the Spanish title for Inception, and pop this one in, and just keep the DVD box for something else. Also already own this one, but this is the special 2-disc edition of Mamma Mia. My wife really, really likes Mamma Mia. I remember going to see it, before I met her, and I really liked it. I thought it was a okay musical, but this one's the 2-disc set, which has the slipcase, metallic-looking foil, and a bunch of special features. And I'm a sucker for special features. The one I have doesn't have any special features, so I'll just do an upgrade. Speaking of Johnny Depp, I picked up Public Enemies, where he does this biopsy from, I think it's John Dillinger. Well, it doesn't say here. I'm pretty sure it's not John Dillinger. But it has Johnny Depp, it has Christian Bale, and it has the lady that appears in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. Went to see it also, thought it was pretty good. I really liked it, and Johnny Depp wasn't playing Jack Sparrow. Which is something that Johnny Depp's been doing in his role since doing Pirates. Been looking for this one, finally got Dead Poets Society because I want to complete my Robin Williams collection. Still sad the way that the world lost Robin Williams, but I want to get as many of the movies that I enjoyed with him in. So Dead Poets Society was one of those. I still have to get Bicentennial Man, Patch Adams, and Good Morning Vietnam. That's the other one I want to get. Picked up the deluxe edition of Men in Black, 2-disc set with the movie and a bunch of special features. Love special features. I want to get the first one, the deluxe set of the first one, and I want to get the third one. Saw the third one on TV, thought it was pretty cool. This one, I remember hating this movie when I was a kid because it wasn't what I expected. Saw it recently on TV, didn't hate it that much, so I picked up the Super Mario Brothers movie. Uh, yeah, I like I said, I recently rewatched it. It's bad, but it's not as bad as I remember. It's not what I hoped it would be, of course, when I read Club Nintendo and they would give little information on this. But I had to pick it up because it's Mario Brothers, and good or bad, it has two actors that are no longer with us. It has Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper. So if nothing else, it has that. Picked up the unrated extended version of Superbad. Really, really funny comedy from the guys that brought us 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. I really, really like it. It's really funny, and it's these packed full of special features, so I had to pick it up. This one I've been looking for a while, because I have Darkstone, and I really, really like Darkstone. Is it Darkstone? I'm pretty sure it's Darkstone, but it's a movie developed by Jim Henson, and the other one I've been trying to track down is Labyrinth. Remember seeing this once, thought it was pretty cool, had to add it to the collection. Went to Target. Actually it was Walmart, and this was dirt cheap, and that's the Grand Budapest Hotel. Surprised that this movie won a couple of Oscars, critically acclaimed, and it was so cheap at that Walmart. But my wife was curious about watching it. I'm curious about watching it, and I picked it up. Picked up the unrated edition of The Unborn. I saw Film Brain do a bad movie beatdown on this, and it looked really bad. Oddly enough, it has Gary Oldman in it, so I picked it up. Picked up Hijacked, starring Randy Couture. This is kind of like Passenger 57, where Randy Couture is in this plane, and he has to save a bunch of hostages from terrorists that want money. But I kind of like those type of plane movies. There's actually a Liam Neeson one that I also want to see. This one, just because it was there, I picked up Virus X. It's about a group of scientists that get stuck in a lab and get infected with a mutated version of the H1N1 virus. This one I've been looking for. Picked up Dead Silence from James Wan, who did The Conjuring. I really, really like The Conjuring, so I wanted to pick this one up because I heard that this was his first movie that he wrote, so I had to pick that one up. Adam Sandler movies, at least modern Adam Sandler movies, are hit or miss. Saw this on Netflix with my wife, and I liked it. It was good enough to be added to the Adam Sandler collection, and that just go with it, starring Jennifer Aniston. My wife really, really likes Jennifer Aniston, because of Friends. And this movie was pretty good. I still want to get Blended. I want to get Grown Ups 2, because those movies I enjoyed. And I'm looking forward to Pixels. I want to see what they do there. Picked up the definitive edition of The Passion of the Christ. This is a movie that I've never actually seen. But I've seen the normal version, but it has, since it doesn't have any special features, I've never been motivated to actually pick it up. This one is the definitive version. It has a bunch of special features, like an insane amount on the first disc, and then on the second disc, it has even more special features. And I'm a special feature mark. I love special features, so I picked it up. I've heard it's from some people. I've heard that it's an amazing movie. From other people, I've heard that it's a bloody mess because that very graphically showcases what happens to Jesus Christ. So, yeah, but I've never seen this definitive version, so I picked it up. And to add to my very short but kind of awesome Al Pacino collection, I picked up The Recruit, co-starring Colin Farrell. My brother, the third of my brothers, is an even bigger Al Pacino fan. He loves Al Pacino. He almost has all of his movies, and I know he has this one because I got it for him. But I'm slowly working on an Al Pacino movie. Saw it there. I picked it up. I want to get from Al Pacino. I still have to get Any Given Sunday, and I think that's it. I have Serpico, and I have A Dog's Day Afternoon. So I think I have all the bigger ones. Oh no, wait. There's Two for the Money. Any Given Sunday and Two for the Money. Those are the two Al Pacino movies that I would like to add to the collection. But yeah, like I said, it was a big haul, but all of these movies and video games were super dirt cheap. I didn't honestly pay. I've paid a lot more for, let's say, a new game that I did for these. It's a lot, but I paid pennies and dimes for this stuff. Honestly, the only thing that was really expensive was Bayonetta and the Amiibo. Everything else was super cheap. But like always, I like to recommend the standout additions to the vault. Even though I haven't seen it, I'm gonna go with this one. I love horror movies, and again, The Conjuring was amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. And game-wise, I have so much awesome stuff to talk about, but I'm going to go with Bayonetta. If you haven't played it, play it. This thing is beautiful to look at. The story doesn't make any sense, but it's just an amazing deal that you get Bayonetta, again, Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2. And both games are amazing. So, yeah. Oh, and the link to the past manga. It's $20. Get it, because I don't know if it's going to go out of print, and I don't know if a lot of Zelda fans are going to get that. But if you can get that, do so. But yeah, that was the collection pickup video. Like always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78. Thanking you and signing out.